Listen, there's a good chance somebody's trying to hack your website right now. You gotta make sure you're covered.
Saving for your first home? With a Moneybox Lifetime ISA, you could be closer than you think. You can get a 25% government bonus on your savings, up to £1,000 free every year towards your deposit. But we'll have to leave the decorating to you. Moneybox. Turn your money into something greater.
You've just left home and moved to the city. It's not quite going like you planned.
I feel like I shouldn't have come here.
Your sister says.
Babe, you're surrounded by 8 million people. Just go out and find someone.
Like you, be strong to hold the powers of the sun. To dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one, only one. I was an ordinary boy until I broke the rules. My life destroyed. Life destroyed. Until I walk awake, scream my mind, I shout, the ground shakes. How much can I take? My mind will break. Will it break? Can I take? Can I be your superhero? Fly away. It's the first time of today. Today. To dream, believe. You are the strength, you're all I need. Oh, gonna give it a shot. Only one of me to shield you all from the enemy. You're a superhero. You're a superhero.
Welcome. The Motive Racing YouTube channel. We are back here tonight for another season here on Assetto Corsa Competizione on the PlayStation 5 platform. We're here tonight for the GT3 Championship, as usual here on a Sunday night, and I'm delighted to be back here for this fantastic championship that we've had now for many years, and looking forward to another one here. This is some of the best sim racers on PlayStation, on console, anywhere out there. These are some of the best racers that you'll ever see. It takes a lot of skill to drive one of these cars on Assetto Corsa Competizione. Obviously it's a real simulator game, this one, and it's not for the faint-hearted, I tell you that. But we're here tonight obviously at Monza for this opening round of the season, the Temple of Speed, the Autodromo de Nazionale Monza, which I've just probably butchered the pronunciation of, but nonetheless we move on to the action out on track, which is currently being headed by our Lamper here in this first qualifying session of the season. He's sat on the provisional pole on a 1:47.4, and he's currently a long way clear of everybody else at the moment. He's currently left everybody else in his dust a little bit. You've got Guido Christ sat in second, he's 0.8 of a second off of the pace of our Lamper, and then you've got Awesome Gumball in third, ahead of Ludo, who's just over a second off of the pace. I'm sure we'll be seeing the times coming in thick and fast, and we'll probably see some improvements over the course of this session. I'm sure we're not done in terms of what we see in front of us at this moment in time. There's still a little way to go in this session at the moment. We've got 26 drivers in the session at the moment. I'm hoping we've got a couple more jumping in, because by my calculations we were supposed to have pretty much bang on 29 people in, so hopefully there's a couple of people just running late or whatnot, so we should hopefully have a full grid. As I said before, there's no reason why we shouldn't, but yeah, I'm just going to give the green light to a couple of guys. They can invite a few of the reserves that they were considering inviting before, so that should hopefully fill us up. But yeah, currently it just looks like Ludo's closed the gap to our Lamper at the top of the leaderboard a little bit, 0.03 of a second now separating those two. So Ludo's now starting to chip away at that gap. Fury now in third place in this session at the moment, and Fury making his return to Motive after a long time, well, quite a long absence here. He hasn't raced with us now for ages. Used to race with us regularly back in the day on Project Cars 2 and F1, and recently, well, I say recently, probably in the last year or so now, he's been dabbling in ACC over at Simplay. Watched a couple of their streams over the last sort of year or so, over the last couple of years, to be honest, since I stopped racing with them, due to the fact that I just don't have time anymore. But yeah, he's a driver who's always been constantly improving. I think he's still quite young. I think he's, yeah, he must be about 18 or 19 now, Fury. I can't remember. I know you're about, what is it, about 7 or 8 years younger than me, so yeah, must be about that age. But yeah, I remember we used to race with Fury at Simplay and Project Cars 2. He's a crackingly quick racer, and over the years has really matured in terms of his consistency and and how clean he is, and his racecraft and all that. So yeah, good to see him back out on track here at Motive, and he's currently 0.3 of a second off of the provisional pole time, so really setting the timing board alight here. We've got Luca just going over the line that goes in P4 there for the time being. Codlungu sat in 5th. Obviously it's his home race here tonight in a sense, because I believe he is Italian, albeit he does race he races out of the UK. He is currently living in the UK, but yeah, I believe he hails from Italy, I believe. And yeah, currently P5 at the moment in this session. Awesome Gumball down to P6 with a few drivers improving. Cosmic Crusader currently in 7th at the moment in this session, as he's 0.8 of a second off with the provisional pole time. Guido Christ in 8th place at the moment. Dimenta in the pits, currently 9th in this session with Tunde in P10. We've got Matihimovic in 11th place, my favourite commentator of all time. Got to give a big shout out to him, as him and Fury both repping the Simplay colours here tonight. Obviously, for those of you who don't know, Simplay Motorsport, fantastic community, also run their own ACC leagues, as well as, I believe, I don't know if they're running Gran Turismo. I've seen a couple of streams recently, so it makes me think they might be potentially looking to get on Gran Turismo. Maybe it's just a one-off, not sure, but yeah, they have a fantastic community over there. I used to race with it over there myself back when I had the time to do so, but nowadays kind of just about have time to run Motive leagues. So not really in a position where I'm not blessed enough to be able to allocate enough resources of mine to that. But yeah, currently Mac sat in P11 at the moment. He's the founder of Simplay. He's also, as I said before, he is the best commentator I've ever heard, I've ever experienced or commentated with I must say, and that's no insult to anybody who's commentated alongside me, but he is just fantastic. He just sounds like a professional commentator. I'll tell you what, the first time I've heard Matehimovic commentate, it was when the Only G was here, and the Only G was the one who kind of like spoke with him and got him on board. And I heard him commentating. I was racing in a touring car race at Sakito, and I had the stream on in the background, and I could just hear him commentating. And I just thought, has G got a professional in? Has he like done this to surprise me? I genuinely thought he was a professional commentator. I mean, he is now, but back then, you know, this is way before he got sort of scouted and whatnot. But yeah, he's absolutely fantastic commentator. If you haven't heard him, definitely head over to Simplay Motorsport and you can experience his dulcet tones in all of their glory. But currently Matty behind Snoopy. Snoopy's in P12 at the moment. Sean currently in the pits at this point in the session. You got Erico in 15th, followed by LOL 3000. Gary currently 17th. Also one of the guys from Simplay jumping in here tonight. Good to see. Driving in the Porsche here tonight as well. He's traditional 131, obviously, same as his PlayStation name. Oh, as he gets it wrong there, go for the De La Rocha chicane, and Gary there onto the grass, actually onto the gravel a little bit. I think he tagged the wall as well. So Gary there getting it all wrong, and hopefully he hasn't got damaged. Dad's Automatic there, also one of the Simplay lads jumping in here tonight, driving in the Lambo. Not driving in the same. Him and Gary seem to have gone with their own direction in terms of liveries, but nonetheless, Dad's Automatic on his debut here tonight. Never raced here at Motive, never in any category, not even on Project Cars 2 back in the day, like Gary, Matt, and obviously Fury. This is his first ever appearance, but yeah, but Matt's told me about him, and he's obviously a good racer. He's brought him along, and yeah, that should be exciting to see. We've got Archie currently sat in P19 at the moment, was third in last season's championship, wasn't first like his car might suggest, but did a very good job. He was extremely consistent last season, was Archie. One thing you can always bank on with Archie is that he will be in on the first lap to make a pit stop. I'll be extremely surprised if he doesn't come in at the end of the first lap. He almost always comes into the pits at the end of the first lap, so yeah, keep an eye out for that. Lexi currently 21st place. You've got Scooter Paul in 22nd. Assassin Darius making his debut here tonight, 23rd at the moment in this session, just over 2 seconds off of the pace. Cosmic Mike sat in P24, long time since he's raced here as well, making his first appearance in a couple of years. You've got Chris still in the pits, doesn't look like he's going to be setting a time before the end of this session. Glenn also in the pits as well. The GT UK boys being quite coy about their pace here tonight. Hybrid Tech, I believe, is a Simplay driver. He's jumped in here towards the end of the session as well. So 3 minutes left to go. We've currently got 27 drivers in a session. As I say, I was expecting 29 here tonight, so I'm not 100% sure what's happened here. I don't know whether I've miscalculated or whether some people have emoted twice or whatever, but yeah, I'm not quite sure. But I was expecting more, but nonetheless, I suppose it is what it is. Yeah, we have 23 confirmed. We had 2 confirmed as reserves, and then I think we've got at least 4 people in here who didn't say anything, who didn't confirm. So how we've got 26, 27 now with Hybrid Tech, I'm not quite sure. Lamper though has extended his margin at the top of the leaderboard here. He's now in the 146s, so Lamper is absolutely flying right now around Monza, and Ludo's going to have to really pawn out the bag here if he wants to get pole position. Fury currently in 3rd, Luca in the pits. He's just coming out of the pits now, so he will get a lap in just before the end of the session. He's probably had to cut his fuel right down to the minimum to be able to extract the absolute maximum out of his BMW here tonight. But currently you've got 2 BMWs in the top 4. You've got 4 BMWs in the top 10, and they are currently the most. Oh, as I say that, we just see Snoopy even picking up into 9th place and putting his Ferrari ahead of Dimensor and Matehimovic. Now there's only 3 BMWs in the top 10, but yeah, BMW seems to be pretty decent around here. The McLaren of Lamper's flying, but he's currently in the only McLaren anywhere near the front. Erico's in 7th. He's nearly a second off of his pace at this point, so it looks like he's kind of a bit of an anomaly in that regard. But yeah, currently Lamper's still setting the pace and seemingly confident with his lap that he's done so far, because he's not out on the track. He's not trying to defend that pole position. Seems like he feels like he's done enough, or maybe seems like he's done the max that he can possibly do here. Ludo coming through Ascari. I'm not sure if he's on a flying lap or an out lap. We're going to find out by the time we get to the end of this particular lap that we're on. But it's currently everybody out on track barring Lamper, Erico and Sean, as we see Ludo coming down towards the Parabolica here. And let's see if he can nail it. He doesn't take the widest entry you could take. He was actually quite a long way off of the white line on the periphery of the track there, so not really using all of the track that he can. That could have cost him a little bit of time there, but he comes out of the final corner nonetheless. Ludo currently P2 in this qualifying session. Was this a lap? It wasn't, or it wasn't good enough if it was, but Ludo here will have one more shot at potentially getting pole position here. Fury currently out there at the moment, coming through the Lesmo 1. Luca coming out of the Parabolica here to start his final flying lap of the session. You've got Gila Chris coming out of the Della Rocha chicane down towards Lesmo 1. Codalungu coming through the curve of Grande. Awesome Gumball coming through Parabolica here. Is he on a lap? He's currently 8th in this session at the moment, coming towards the business part. Well, we're now pretty much at the end of the qualifying session, and we're just now seeing who's got what it takes here to pull a lap out of the bag. Here's Awesome Gumball over the line, doesn't improve on P8, stays where he is for the time being. We got a few comments coming in here on the stream. Luca mentioning how he was DQ'd from the session. Chris says you'll be fine, you can qualify anyway. Archie says don't go the wrong way in the pits this time, good luck everyone. And Seb says, oh, is that the NCS that I hear? Of course it is, mate. Always run NCS. It's no copyright, you know, safe from the leeches that are music publishers. We can see Ludo coming down towards Ascari at the moment. Fury coming over the line. Can he improve? No, he can't. Stays in P3. So Fury there had one more shot to try and take pole. Couldn't do it. Ludo's being very cautious through some of these corners. He's really not taking the wide entries that you really need to be taking through some of these corners here. Out of Ascari he comes down towards the Parabolica. He's currently in 2nd place here. Luca's also on a lap as well. In fact, who's further up? I think Luca's a couple of corners behind him. But here comes Ludo into the Parabolica now. Just tagging the curve a little bit there on the inside. It does scrub speed if you tag it too much. You don't want to be getting all over it. Here he comes then, Ludo up towards the line. Can he improve? Can he go on pole position here in the dying embers at this qualifying session? Over the line he comes. No, he can't. P2 at best for Ludo then. What about Luca? Into the Parabolica he comes. Awesome Gumball's pitted, so he's now done for the session. It's all on Luca here to try and wrestle something from the session. Is he coming into the pits? He's boxing, so that is that. Luca's going to be done for the session here. Is anybody else out there? It looks like Snoopy's coming through towards the final corner. He's currently in P12 in this session. Dimenta in the pits, he's done. So is Daz Automatic. Snoopy, I think, is the last driver on a lap here, unless Remster's out there. No, Remster coming over the line, P20, doesn't improve. Archie's currently in the pits at the moment as well. So it's going to be Snoopy here up towards the line. What is he going to put on the board here? Snoopy, P12, no improvement there for him. That is that then for the qualifying session here for tonight. Zillabang there, error code saying, good luck guys. Ran out of fuel, says Archie. Oh no. That is not what we want to be seeing there from Archie. Obviously one of our contenders last season for 2nd in the championship, ended up 3rd in the standings last season, lost out to Totally Zero in that one. Totally Zero will be joining us from next week onwards for this season, not here this week unfortunately, but that is that then for the first qualifying session of the season, as it's now forcing me to drive. It's not letting me return to the garage, so sorry about this everybody, but anyway, right, so here we go then everybody. This is it. This is the start of the season. This is the first race of Motive Racing's GT3 Championship here on Assetto Corsa Competizione on the PlayStation 5 platform. Season 7 here on the PlayStation 5. Looking like we've got 28 drivers in this session here. I'm not quite sure whether that's accurate or not. I think I count as a driver, so I think there's actually 27. I tiniest did hint he might be jumping in before we get to the start of the race, but he's cutting it fine if he is planning on joining. And so we've got Seb in the comments saying, Andy, I have a great announcement to make. Does it involve iRacing, Seb? Tell me if it involves iRacing, because I know there's a few little plans in the pipeline at the moment. We've been discussing it behind the scenes. Not going to give too much away, although I think I pretty much have. But yeah, that's good to hear. I'm glad to hear that we're making progress with that, obviously, because we have got big plans in the pipeline at the moment. We've been talking about this now for some time. No, it doesn't involve iRacing. Oh, okay. Well, we got error code says full formation. Yes. We too many times last season we didn't have it, but we did actually have the full formation lap for the last couple of rounds of last season. We managed to get it working. I basically, I'm not very good at this whole server thing. It really has taken a lot of dedication and a lot of passion and enthusiasm for me to actually, kind of unlock this, because it's not really my kind of thing. I'm not, I'm just not good at this kind of thing, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. So I had to, really research this topic, and I found out eventually how to put the full formation lap on. People have been trying to show me how to run all this stuff, you know, involving SimGrid and all that. I don't know. Oh, mate, please, I really appreciate people trying to help and try and like help me to get team names and driver names on the screen, but please, alright, look, I can just about configure a server, let alone do all of this driver list lineup stuff, entry list. Oh my god, please, my brain just can't handle it. I'm sorry. I just can't. So yeah, that's something I just can't get to grips with. So hey, look, right, it doesn't matter, PlayStation names without team names on the screen. Hey, look, that looks beautiful, right? Come on, we can get with that, can't we, guys? That's perfectly good. Seb in the comments, I have a junior side gig for a real racing team that participates in WEC and Blancpain GT series. That is absolutely fantastic, mate. I knew, obviously, we were speaking about that before. What exactly you'll be doing then with them? Is it because I remember you talking about doing what was it, tours of the Barcelona sort of pit buildings, wasn't it, or something? I remember you talking about. Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic though. Really good job. Well done on that one. And yeah, this is currently it then. Formation lap time here at Motive. Is it going to let me return to the garage yet? No, it's not. So we're still going to have to sit and wait without being able to switch drivers. Although we can switch drivers, but we just can't pick who. So we can flick to the next default person on the list, but we can't actually pick who we're going to watch here. So we're just flicking through at the moment. But saying that, it's great to see everybody here live on the YouTube channel. If you guys are watching and you want to get involved, then be sure to go to www.motiveracing.co.uk and you can join our leagues. You can become a part of the ACC leagues. We've also got leagues on F1 and also Gran Turismo 7 as well. We run on Tuesday nights, we're going to be running the Audi TT Cup on Gran Turismo 7. Thursday nights will be the touring cars, which is basically Group 4, excluding coupes, and the Alfa Romeo Giulia, because apparently it's OP as anything on GT7. And then obviously on Friday night we've got the F1, and then Saturday night we're going to be running Group 3 on Gran Turismo 7. So it's basically GT3 GTEs but with a PP limit, so the GT3s and the GTEs and all that can compete with each other. GT500 as well. And then Sunday night obviously we've got the GT3 Championship here on Assetto Corsa Competizione, the ultimate test of a sim racing driver here on the PlayStation platform. We got Raki there saying good evening all, welcome along Raki, great to see you as always, mate. Yeah, Seb says there is it's a paddock tour guide. Yeah, thought so, mate. I know obviously that was what you'd already been doing that to some extent, but yeah, great to hear that's now a full-time, or rather sort of like, you know, side gig, but obviously, you know, you've got that permanently, which is absolutely excellent. And we also got PN Motorsport saying, come on the Simplay drivers, Matt Fury, Gary and Hypertech, Mr. Le Mans, Tynus there saying, damn, the formation up already started, just a bit too late for me and Jazz to take part. No! There's literally 2 seats for you guys. Oh, that's a shame. That is a shame, because I tell you what, if those guys could have jumped in just before the end of the formation lap and started from the pits, that would have been fascinating to see where they could get to. Come on, boys, it's not too late. Come on. Yeah, I'd be love to see where you can get to from here. I'm not gonna bash you if you don't, but it would be epic if you did. But no, I'm not gonna put pressure on you. But PN there, I'll get behind Daz as well, obviously. Michael J says good luck to Daz, Matahimovic, Fury, Gary and Hypertech. As here we come then, we're about to go racing here for the opening round of the GT3 Championship here at Motive Racing on Assetto Corsa Competizione. We're just coming through in towards the Parabolica now. I still can't select the drivers yet because I'm currently locked in this menu where you can't actually do anything, so we're just going to have to hold fire for a second before we can watch the leader. But here we come then, through the Parabolica for the first time this season. It'll be the only time this season because we're not racing at Monza more than once. But here we are then, it's going to be R. Lamper on pole position to get us underway, Ludo alongside him with Fury and Luca on the second row, Codlunga and Guido Chris behind them, and then Ericode and Awesome Gumball, I believe, is alongside him on the fourth row. Here we are then, up towards the line, about to go green here for the first race of the season. This is it then. Tynus says, if we jump in now, we're at least a lap down. No, yeah, you're right, there's no point. But here we are then, we're racing, we're underway for the first round of the season. Our Lamper gets a good start. Looks like Ludo doesn't get a good one. Fury's already ahead of him here coming down towards turn 1. So Fury getting an absolutely fantastic jump there off of the line. Looking to the outside of our Lamper into turn 1. Our Lamper's going to cover that one off. Fury's going to have to tuck in for the time being, as Ludo there in the background seems to have stayed ahead of Luca for the time being. Guido Chris there just behind them. Bit of contact there in the background there. Somebody is round. Is that Matimovic there? It looked like the Simplay livery. It was it. Matimovic there has been taken out there coming through the first corner, and it's down to pretty much the back of the pack, but it's currently our Lamper ahead of Ludo at the moment, with Fury there in third place. Luca there running in P4. In fact, what's going on here with the time board is just doing what it usually does here, but Ludo actually getting ahead of Luca staying ahead of Luca up in third place, but our Lamper still ahead of Fury at the moment. There is the rest of them coming through the pack here. Lesmo 1, you can see they're all kind of keeping it together at the moment. No dramas apart from Matimovic being spun around. Not sure who it was that caused the contact, but we've got a move here being shaped up as Darius here is trying to make a move there on Scooter at Paul, and has made that one stick. I think, was it Paul? I think it was, pretty sure it was, yeah. Darius there making a lovely move there on Paul up into P16, but coming down towards Ascari, it's our Lamper leading ahead of Fury, with Ludo there in third place, Luca there in fourth ahead of Guido Chris, who's currently trying to put the pressure on him at the moment. You've got Codalungu there in P6 ahead of Erico with Cosmic Crusader. There's Snoopy ahead of Awesome Gumball, Tunde ahead of Daz Automatic. Then you've got Sean Remster, Dimenta there in P15 ahead of Darius, followed by Scooter Red Paul, Matev in 18th place ahead of Archie, Lexi Mate Hypertech Chris, followed by Cosmic Mike, Lol 3000 there ahead of Matimovic. Glenn's also running into problems here on his first lap. He's got damage there on the front of the car, so he's been involved in something. Has Gary also been involved, or did he start from the pits? Because he doesn't seem to have any damage, so I don't know whether he forgot to ready up at the start. His car seems to be in pristine condition, so I think maybe he might have not readied up. But nonetheless, we go to the battle for the lead here, because Fury is keeping our Lamper on his toes here. Looking to the inside into turn 1, he's just a little bit too far back at the moment, but Fury showing he's got the race pace here tonight. Has he got the tenacity to take this fight to our Lamper here and potentially go for the win in the opening round of the season? Ludo ahead of Luca, followed by Guido Chris with Erico. As we can see, a bit of a battle going on here in the background. You've got the Snoopy there, who's currently trying to put the pressure on Codalungu. Those two are quite close going into the braking zone, but now they've spaced out a little bit as they're coming through the Curva Grande. You've got Darius here trying to make a move on Dimenta here. So Darius has had an electric start to this race. He's been really, really good in his opening couple of laps. He's just been making the moves. He's been picking drivers off here. Darius is on the outside here. It's not job done though, because Dimenta's got the inside for the Del Roger chicane. He's going to try and come back at him here. Is Dimenta down the inside he goes. Darius giving the space. Bit of contact there between the two of them. Oh, handbags there between them, and Dimenta getting pushed out there onto the gravel. Dimenta's not going to be happy with that at all. Darius there making his way through. In the background you've got Scooter Red Paul there, bit of contact as he tries to stay ahead there of Lexi May, who is trying to make a move on him. Matev, where's Matev in all this? Because Matev appears to be on the screen in between them, but he's not. And yeah, I don't know exactly what's going on there, but Darius there, a bit of an aggressive move, maybe a little bit below the belt, and it's cost Dimenta a few places here. He's dropped down to, I think, 19th place in all of that one, so not the situation that he would have wanted at all just there. Time says 5 or 10 minutes later, Jazz and I could have made it. Oh well. See you in next race on track. Yes, definitely, mate. Because obviously those two, they race in another league now, but it's a fortnightly league, so they're going to be with us racing every other week as a reserve. And by the looks of it, sometimes if we're running late, maybe even they can race if they are racing in their other league. So yeah, hopefully we'll be seeing them a little bit over the course of this season. You've got Erico, who's currently casting in the back of Guido Chris, coming down the start finish straight. He's looking pretty close here in the slipstream as they come down towards the end of the start finish straight. He's going to look to the outside now. Is Erico, as Guido Chris is going to send him rather a long way here. Can Erico go late on the brakes and keep it around the outside? Guido Chris goes very late on the brakes and completely misses his braking point. Erico went late on the brakes as well, but just about got it turned there as Guido Chris completely cuts the first chicane and gets away with it. Absolutely rotten there. He needs to make sure he doesn't do that again, because if he keeps doing that, then the game will give him a drive-through penalty, so he needs to be careful now. It's a bit of a broken system here on ACC. Monza, it does let you completely get away with cutting that first chicane, so not really what you want to be seeing, but yeah, I don't really want to be seeing too much of that, to be honest with you. Hopefully we don't see that from too many drivers here tonight, but currently our Lamp is still leading the race. Fury on the back of him. Ludo currently going with these guys at the moment, not too far away at all, as they're going through Lesmo 2 right now. Luca not too far away from them either. Guido Christ, Erico, Cosmic Crusader joining that battle there for P5. There's Snoopy and Codalungu still in the background there with Awesome Gumball. Tunde ahead of Daz with Sean, followed by Remster. You've got Matev there running in P15 ahead of Scooter and Paul. Darius there in P17. Alexi Mate, Hypertech, Lol 3000. Matimovic there picking up a few drivers here in 21st place now. He's got He's gone from, I think, 25th on the first lap up to 21st. So no, he would have been 27th because he dropped down to the back. So yeah, Matimovic has done bits here to get himself back into the mix here. Currently running on the back of almost on the back of a train of cars here. He's just closing up onto the back of this train here, which is currently led by Darius. Darius has got Leximate, Hypertech and Lol 3000 in hot pursuit here, and there is Matimovic, who will be looking to bring the fight to them in a few moments time. Back to the battle for the lead here. Arlamper and Fury still running close, although Fury actually lost a bit of time to the Parabolica there. He dropped from 0.3 back to 1.2 back, so Fury must have made a mistake through the Parabolica, which has given Ludo a bit of a run here as they come down towards turn 1. As Ludo looking to the inside, he's going to be able to make this one happen here. Not close enough, and Fury for the time being holds on to that one. Luca there waiting in the wings, hoping he might be able to pounce. These two trip over each other, but Fury managing to survive in that P2 for the time being. Can he now try and bring that gap back down to Arlampa, which he had pretty much on a knife's edge a few moments ago, but then obviously must have made that mistake through Parabolica because the gap went up considerably through that one section of the track. It could have only been one corner, because the final sector here at Monza is only one corner. It is only the Parabolica, so it could have only been that final sector. But Fury, for the time being, still keeping it cool, still keeping it strong, and he's still very much in contention for a potential race win here tonight. Back to the battle for P5. You've got Eric Code, Guido Christ and Cosmic Crusader. Cosmic Crusader is waiting and watching these two as they continue to run pretty close. There's the rest of them coming through the pack. Always there's a big battle going on here in the background. What is going on here? There's a bit of chaos there. Somebody's gone wide. Somebody's completely missed the chicane there, as we see that's Lol 3000 there getting it wrong onto the gravel, and it was the who was the other car? That was Leximate there who got it wrong, and it went straight on into the De La Rocha chicane. So both of those two, Leximate and Lol 3000, getting it a little bit wrong, as you can see. Hypertech now getting involved in this battle here just in front of them, but it's currently being led by Sean, who's got Scuderia Paul, Darius and Hypertech now all over him. Although actually, you know what, I think Sean and Paul might have just pulled away a little bit here from this battle. You can see them go through Ascari. There's Darius. Hypertech now running in 17th. You've got Matimovic now right in the thick of this battle ahead of Leximate and Lol 3000 here. Matimovic will be looking to try and make a move on his fellow Simplay driver here as quickly as he possibly can, as they're coming down the back straight towards the Parabolica once again. But yes, it's all going the early laps of this race. It's been an exciting first couple of laps here, and currently Matimovic is really bringing it to these mid-pack drivers after his first lap spin. Obviously got punted around going through the first chicane on lap 1, but since then has done nothing but make the ground up here, as he's now looking to, as we can see here, we've got Hypertech now trying to make a move on Darius down the start-finish straight. Darius has been making moves on other drivers over the course of this race, but now he looks like he might be about to be passed here, as it was a bit close there between them, a bit close for comfort. He's going to try and go around the outside, is he? As in the background we got Daz there. No, it was Leximate again there cutting a chicane. But Darius and Hypertech side by side here as they come through the Curva Grande, and Hypertech just stays ahead of Darius there and makes that move on him. So Darius up into P15. Hypertech up into P15, should I say. And in the background there you've got Leximate, who's now coming under pressure from Lol 3000 down towards the De La Rocha chicane. Is he going to be able to make this move here? No. Oh, as Leximate there onto the grass a little bit. Oh no! And Darius there completely losing it because the De La Rocha chicane. Did he get a bit of a tap there from in the rear? It looked like Leximate was all over the place, and Darius there losing it completely, getting it sideways. Leximate continues on his way, Lol 3000 as well, but Hypertech's just in front of them, but unfortunate there obviously for Darius, and he's now behind Cosmic Mike. So Darius down to P20 here in this race. That's not gone to plan at all there for him in any way, shape or form. We can see Matimovic has been into the pits, so he's now down to P24. So the highest driver of those who have pitted is currently Tunde. Archie second of the driver who's pitted. Obviously he came in on lap 1 as he usually does. So Tunde, Archie, Daz Automatic, Matimovic, Dimenta and Glenn have all been into the pits here in the opening few laps of this race. So they've obviously done their pit stops, as Glenn has still got damage, so he didn't get his damage fixed, which is a bit strange, a bit surprising there. Not quite sure why he wouldn't have got it fixed, but nonetheless, I guess we move on, because we've got Lol 3000 currently battling Leximate for P16 in this race. Keep an eye on the battle at the front, because the Fury's now brought it back down to Arlampa again. The gap had gone up obviously a couple of laps ago. In fact, no, Fury. Oh, Fury's made a mistake here, I think, has he? Or is that? No, he's still. Yeah, he has. No, he hasn't. No. Yeah, he has. No, he hasn't. That is Arlampa. Sorry, I do apologise. That was just taking me a second there, because there's obviously the lap car just in front of the BMW here, which is Dimenta. So Yeah, currently the two leaders here 0.3 of a second apart as they're coming through Lesmo 1, and you can just see there Diamenta getting a little bit wide going through Lesmo 1. He'll be feeling the pressure. He's got the leaders queuing up behind him, trying to obviously have limited disruption to their races. And Fury looking closer than he's ever been here on Orlampo. He's really piling the pressure on his Fury tonight on his return here to Motive. He's a former multiple race winner here at Motive Racing. He never won a championship, I don't believe. Oh, it's Orlampo there, getting it really sideways, going for Ascari. That was a close call there from him. Fury will be smelling blood at the moment. We'll be seeing these little mistakes piling up, and will be thinking to himself, he might have a chance here to put the to deal this knockout blow. Down towards the Parabolica we go. He's still too far away at the moment, but Fury is really putting it up Orlampo as he looks to the inside into the Parabolica. It's not going to happen just there though. Orlampo's still clinging onto this one for the time being. These guys 4 seconds clear of Ludo and Luca, who are still batting there with third place at the moment. Erico a couple of seconds further back there in P5, but Fury is absolutely tearing after Orlampo at the moment, and is not giving him a second to breathe. He's not giving him any respite. Here we go then. He's got the slipstream here down the start finish straight, looking to the outside. Orlampo's going to have to defend the inside line. He's going to have to be cautious about this one. Fury looking to try and go around the long way here, all the way around the outside. Not going to happen there. Orlampo's got that one covered off, went late enough on the brakes there to cover him nicely. Fury though is really pushing him hard as they come through the Curva Grande here for the 7th time in this race. Is Fury going to be looking to try and make this move on the track, or is he going to wait for the pit stops? Not quite sure what the strategies are at the moment. We don't know if people are running half tanks or full tanks. It could be that one of these guys, or both of them, or none of them, are driving full tanks or half tanks. We just don't know what the situation is, but essentially it means that if you're running a half tank in the first stint, you generally have a little bit of a pace advantage because you're running a lighter car. That will then obviously negate itself over the course of the pits, because then you spend more time in the pits filling up the car, obviously, because you need to put fuel in. So it kind of evens itself out over the race, but what you see in the first stint isn't always the overall picture. But Ludo in the meantime stood ahead of Luca. Luca's trying to put the pressure on him there for third place. Erico there ahead of Guido Chris, followed by Cosmic Crusader. There's Snoopy ahead of Codalungu with Awesome Gumball completing the top 10. The top 10 are all separated by about 10 seconds at the moment, and there's a bit of a gap back to Matev running in 11th. You've got Remster there in P12, followed by Sean, who's not too far off of him as well. You've got Scooter Paul dropping off at the back of these guys a little bit there in 14th place. Hypertech and Lol 3000 there in P15 and 16, followed by Leximate, who's a long way behind them. Gary in P18, Cosmic Mike, Chris, Darius coming into the pits here at the end of this lap, so he's now the next driver to come in and make his mandatory pit stop. So that now leaves, well, it's about a quarter of the pack now have been into the pits to make their pit stops. As we can see, Fury is getting closer to the back of Orlampo. Is this going to be the opportunity here for Fury? Is Orlampo a little bit wide going out the Parabolica? That would have compromised his run. Fury once again in the slipstream, and this time he's got the run much earlier than he did last time. Here we go, looking to the inside. Has he got the straight line speed? Looks like Orlampo might have the straight line speed advantage here over Fury, because every time Fury pulls out of that slipstream, he loses time. Down towards turn 1 we go. Orlampo's once again got it covered off. Fury has not got the straight line speed in that BMW that Orlampo's got in that McLaren, and it's currently proving to be Orlampo's saving grace here in this race, because Fury showing he's got a lot more confidence through these corners and is absolutely piling that pressure on him at the moment, but can't seem to find a way through. The straight line speed obviously pivoted around Monza, and Fury's not able to make it work at the moment. Orlampo's still hanging onto this one as Fury looking to the inside there into the De La Rocha chicane. That's going to be his best chance here of making this move. He's going to be forcing Orlampo into a mistake, because it doesn't look like he's got the straight line speed to make a move. As Luca there running in third place, still ahead of, sorry, has made the move on Ludo now, so Luca up into the podium places. Erico there in fourth ahead of, fifth place ahead of Guido Chris with Cosmic Crusader, who seems to have lost it here. Cosmic Crusader's dropped a couple of places here, so he's now behind Snoopy and Codalungu and Awesome Gumball, so Cosmic Crusader's dropped down to P10 here in that little regard there. So I don't know what's happened there to him. Must have been through a De La Rocha chicane, I would imagine, but the guys behind him, or who were behind him, who are now in front of him, are still battling Codalungu and Awesome Gumball, so that could bring him back into this battle here for what's currently P8 in this race. But Orlampo and Fury here coming down the back straight, 0.3 of a second between them, and Fury's looking to get a little bit closer here if he possibly can down towards the Parabolica. But as we've seen so many times in the first stint of this race, Fury does not seem to have the straight line speed to really give Orlampo enough of a headache unless Orlampo makes a mistake. Orlampo again a little bit wide to the Parabolica. I tell you what, he's getting close to that little speed bump on the periphery of the circuit every time, and all it takes is to hit that once and you're into the barriers on the outside, so needs to be careful of that one. Fury once again, the straight line speed not really with him, gets the slipstream, but that's all he got really as he comes into turn 1. Has to just take a wider line there to avoid running into the back of Arlampa, because he was a bit more confident on the brakes than Arlampa was. But still the same situation here between these top two. Arlampa's just doing what he needs to do at the moment, putting his car in the right places and not allowing those gaps to form, and that's exactly what he needs to do if he wants to win this opening round of the season. He's currently doing everything right at the moment, is Arlampa, our pole sitter here tonight, as Fury now looking to the outside. Has got a great run here into the Della Rocha chicane. Is Arlampa going to give him the space? Not quite the chance there for Fury. Couldn't quite make it happen there. Didn't have enough of his car alongside. If he had his car alongside, then he would have had the right to some space coming through the second part of the corner, but rightly so, Arlampa closed him off and said, no Fury, not happening this time, mate. But we've still got Guido, Christ and Snoopy, as we see Cosmic Crusader losing in the background there. Cosmic Crusader all over the place, and he might lose out here to the Porsche of Matev. He's still ahead of him for the time being, but Cosmic Crusader just starting to, I think, maybe feel a little bit of pressure here. He's got a lot of cars closing up on the back of him. Matev is the next one queuing up behind him here. Remster is running just ahead of Sean here in the battle for 12th place. A bit of a gap back to Scooter Red Paul. He's running in 14th place still. Hypertex found a way through ahead of Lol 3000 up into P15 as these two still battered it out. But let's go back to the battle here for the lead here, because Arlampa and Fury once again down towards the Parabolica. This is the part of the track where Arlampa just seems to be a little bit shaky, and Fury seems to have the confidence. He gets a better drive every time, does Fury, out of this corner, but then down the start finish straight, as we see all the time, Arlampa has that straight line speed advantage. But once again, I think Arlampa is actually a bit more comfortable this time around than he has been on the previous laps, and I think he should be okay here coming down towards turn 1. Fury will get the slipstream, will get that closing speed, but once he pulls out of that slipstream, he seems to not be able to do much, as Arlampa defending the inside line. And once again, Arlampa's going to be fine coming into turn 1. No major dramas there for him at the moment. He did get a little bit of a sideways action there going through turn 1 though, but nothing major. And Fury still can't make this happen here for the time being. There's Luca there running in 3rd place ahead of Ludo. You've got Cosmic Crusader in the pits at the moment, so he's coming in at the end of lap 9. He was getting himself into a bit of a rut, so maybe he just wants to take a bit of a breather, get himself together and go for the rest of the race here. As Fury looking to the outside, no, once again Arlampa just closing that gap there, so it's not happening, sunshine. Fury's giving it some though. He really wants to make this one happen. He hasn't been able to so far. Still Arlampa just managing to position his car in the right places here. Guido Chris there just ahead of Snoopy down off a P6. Cordelingo a couple of seconds further back there in 8th place. You got Awesome Gumball there in 9th. Matev there running in P10. Oh, there's contact there in the background. Remster and Sean coming together there, and Sean getting punted off, and Remster there, Remster there just moving off there a little bit. Sean has now got Scooter Paul around his outside, and Paul making a move on both of them there. Scooter Paul mugging both of them, saying, sorry boys, I'm not having any of this. I'm just going to squeeze through and make the move on both of you, and up and through he goes. And now we've got Sean trying to come back at Paul as they come down the straight down towards Ascari, as Sean's going to try and defend that. He's going to try and attack to the outside of Paul. Sean getting it all out of shape and loses out to Remster, and Hypertech also making his way through as well as Level 3000 and yeah, so he's dropped back there. So Sean there down to P15 in that one. What a shame there. Obviously after trying to challenge for a P11, as Scooter Paul still running 11th place at the moment. And yeah, unfortunate there for Sean. Remster now trying to defend here from Hypertech as they're coming into the Parabolica, but can't do it. Hypertech can't make it happen at the moment, and he's still holding on to that one for the time in the race. But Fury's giving it absolute hell here to try and make a way through into the Della Rocha chicane. They're just ahead of the lap car there of Cosmic Crusader, because he hasn't got a straight line speed to make the move. He's been knocking on the door, he's been trying everything he possibly can, but the opportunity has not presented itself so far. In the meantime, we've got Guido Chris still battling out with Cordelungu for P7. Cordelungu still can't find a way through in that particular battle. Remster just ahead of Hypertech. In fact, Hypertech's now ahead of Remster, so he's made that move as Hypertech up into P12. Now he can focus just up ahead of him. Scooter Red Paul just under 2 seconds ahead of him. Oh no! As Hypertech there goes straight on over the Della Rocha chicane, and he doesn't want to do that too often because he will get a penalty. He would have got a warning for that for track limits, so he needs to rein that in if he possibly can. So yeah, just needs to be careful there. Obviously they all need to be doing that. They all need to be careful because those warnings, they do rack up on you. As Fury all over the back of Arlampa into the Parabolica, he's still going to be looking to try and make that move, but Looks like Olampa's got it covered. Oh, Olampa a bit wide. Oh, he's really wide there. And I tell you what, that's the closest he's been to that outside curbing, that little bump on the exit of the Parabolica. That is the closest he's been to it so far in this race. Fury will be feeling a bit more confident now, knowing that Olampa's feeling that pressure. Fury is going for the inside here. The gap is not there, but Fury's saying, I don't care if the gap's not there. I'm going to be looking up the inside. Here we go then. This is for the lead. Fury looking to someone up the inside as Olampa goes in a bit wider. Olampa there over speed bumps, and surely he's going to have to give the lead here to Fury, because he completely held on to that due to the fact that he cut the corner. And I tell you what, he's going to hold on to the lead. We'll be shaking with that one, but Olampa still holds on to the lead for the time being. That was a little bit cheap there, I've got to say. Fury just needs to keep his pressure on him though. Needs to not like that, get to his head. Needs to just hold him very, very close and just make sure he's there to capitalise when Olampa does that again. Because I'm sure that the mistakes will continue to come in if Fury keeps this pressure on. But that was just a little bit of a naughty move there from Olampa, I've got to say, to hold on to that position. And the game obviously lets you get away with it for a certain amount of times, but then after a while, I hope it's not going to be allowing that for the rest of the race. But Olampa's still leading ahead of Fury. Luca now joining this battle at third place, so Luca's really closed up onto them here over the last few laps and is now very much in this picture here. Ludo's way off in fourth place now. It seems to have fallen off of their pace a little bit as Olampa and Fury just pulled away a little bit from Luca over the course of this lap so far. But on the whole, Luca is chipping away at that gap, and Olampa's still keeping that lead ahead of Fury. What can Fury do here? Now he's got the other BMW on the back of him. Can he hold on to this? That's going to be the question that we're going to find out over the course of this race. But Luca here really putting Fury under the cosh here as they come out of the Parabolica. And is Fury coming into the pits? He is coming into the pits. So Fury going for the undercut here. Clearly he's gone for a full tank strategy, because it would make no sense to come in at this stage in the race if you're running a half tank. So Fury is going long here. I don't know what Olampa's doing, I don't know what Luca or Ludo are doing, but Fury clearly has fueled up his car to go to the end. So in he comes, and just misses the pit box there. Would have cost him a couple of seconds. We've got PM Motorsport saying he needs to give Fury that back, cut the chicane. I agree. It's a tricky one, because the game gives you a track limits warning for it. So in a sense, I think everybody's in the same boat. I don't know, if it was me, I would have given him a position back just out of sportsmanship. But yeah, to be honest, it's a difficult one. I just hope that he got a track limits warning for it, because I think then it will obviously, he'll have to, adjust his driving style. If he keeps getting those warnings, then he'll have to adjust his driving, and that will obviously have a detrimental effect, which will kind of oh, sorry, I don't want to report you, sorry mate. But yeah, that will kind of even out the advantages that he's gaining by doing it. But nonetheless, Olampa's still leading this race at the moment here. We're currently on lap 13 of this opening round of the season for the GT3 Championship here at Motive Racing. He's got a 1.2 second gap at the moment over Luca. Obviously Fury running in a net second place, having already been into the pits. He's now the highest runner of those who've pitted. Tunde a long way behind Fury at the moment. In fact, actually, you know what? No, hold on, wait, what? Hold on, wait. Tunde he's come out ahead of Fury, what? What's happened here? Why has Fury dropped back to 19th place? Fury's come out in P19. What has happened here? Has this blown the race for Fury? I think he must have had an incident in the pits, surely. Unless he had to pit for tyres. But then why was he coming in so long before the halfway point? I mean, that just makes no sense. I don't know. I'm a bit confused. But Fury nonetheless has come out of the pits, and he's now a long way behind the guys who have already been into the pits early in the race. So I don't really know how that works, unless he's had to change tyres and the others haven't. That's the only theory I have. Awesome Gumball in the pits, part of Ibertech also coming in here at the end of lap 13. I'm scratching my head at that one, and that's obviously going to be a shame in the battle for the win, because Olampa and Fury were having such a close battle there in the first stint, but now it's kind of given Olampa a little bit of breathing space. He's still got Luca keeping him within touching distance, only 1.4 the gap, but we were in for an absolute cracking fight there between Olampa and Fury, and now Fury has been into the pits, and he's now absolutely nowhere to be seen, even when you consider the fact he's been into the pits. So yeah, alright, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. If he is on fresh tyres, he will have a considerable amount of pace over the guys who have pitted ahead of him. So he will probably make his way through, but as to where he'll get to, I'm not quite sure. But Awesome Gumball has been in the pits as well now, so he's now coming through the Dead Rocha chicane. That just puts it into perspective there. He's just been in, and he's about 10-12 seconds ahead of Fury. But we don't know if Awesome Gumball's changed tyres. If he hasn't, then obviously Fury will be able to hunt him down towards the end of the race. So still a long way to go here in this one. Still a lot can happen. Tadej saying Guga Lampa, Guga Luca, my favourite too, he says, and currently he's back in the right horses tonight, is Tadej, because Lampa and Luca currently 1 and 2 at the moment. Showing everybody how it's done here. Second and a half currently separating these two, but Lampa has led the race since the get-go. Pole position earlier in the qualifying session and has kept Fury behind him, has weathered a colossal amount of pressure that Fury's been trying to put on him. So obviously Gilly Christ and Scudero Paul both into the pits here at the end of lap 14. So they're coming in now to get those done. Matev currently all over the back of Kodalungu, still in the battle for P6, but still sat behind him for the time being. Gaps come down to 1.3 between Lampa and Luca over the course of that last sector that they just went through. So going to be keeping an eye on that, because that is the battle obviously for the win. But Matev keeping Kodalungu on his toes here in this battle for P6 and 7 at the moment. Fury pulling up onto the back of Cosmic Mike, who's still yet to pit. In fact, now he's into the pits. So that is Cosmic Mike in. And that just now leaves the top 9 plus Lexi Mate to come into the pits. Obviously with Gilly Christ and Scudero Paul now coming out of the pits, having done their pit stops. And the gap now 1.2 between Lampa and Luca. So Luca a little bit quicker over the course of this lap so far. Not much quicker, but that tad bit quicker than Lampa so far on this lap anyway. It looks like he's cleaned a little bit through the final sector as well here as well. So he's continuing to roll that in. Yeah, 1 point. I just went up a little bit actually through the parabolic there. So Lampa 1.5 the gap. So it stayed the same over the course of lap 15. Ludo still running in P3. In fact, no, Ludo's made a mistake. He's lost out to Erico. So Erico now running in 3rd place. Erico driving a cracker of a race here tonight. Now running in P3. Snoopy there down to in P4. So now Snoopy's ahead of Ludo as well. So Ludo's lost 2 places here. That must have happened coming out of Ascari, surely. What an unfortunate situation there for Ludo. He's dropped from 3rd down to 5th place. That's going to really hurt his battle. Obviously he was in the fight for the podiums, but now appears to have gone out the window a little bit as Kodalungu and Matev battling over P6 and 7 here, coming through the Curva Grande. Matev looked like he might have had the move done through the first chicane, but Kodalungu managing to hold on to that one. Here we come then through the Curva Grande down towards the De La Rocha chicane. Is Matev going to have a chance here coming in towards the De La Rocha chicane? He's going to have a look to the inside. Is he going to look to someone here? He's going to have a long look at it, but thinks better of it, and Kodalungu for the time being holding on to that one. But yeah, Cod's going to have his hands full here. Matev looking to the inside into Lesmo 1. He's got well alongside him here, and Matev down the inside. He makes the move stick beautifully there. Matev up into P6, and that is job done there for him. So that move that looked like it was being done into the first chicane has now been completed into Lesmo 1, and now Matev can look to try and chase after the leaders here. He's not too far off for a top 5 spot. Maybe a podium could be on the cards if he has a clean rest of this race. Don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Obviously still a long way to go here. I'm not even halfway through the race yet, so still a lot to be decided here. Plenty of excitement still to come here at Motive for the GT3 Championship season opener here at Monza. Gaps down to a second between Lampa and Luca. So Luca half a second quicker than Lampa on that previous lap. Luca is now starting to get into a bit of a rhythm here, starting to string these laps together and really put this pressure here on the back of Lampa, and that is exactly what we want to see here. Totally Zero says hi, just finished my race and I'm here. Welcome, good to see you mate, as always. Totally Zero obviously has now finished his season in his other league and will be joining us from next week, I believe. Obviously last season's runner-up in the championship here at Motive, and big fan of the channel here, always chimes in on our comments section. He's probably our biggest fan, I would say, to be honest. So yeah, always good to see Totally Zero chiming in, and yeah, hopefully you're enjoying the race here tonight. It's been a An exciting first stint. We've seen Arlampa and Fury battling for the lead. Fury's been into the pits and has changed tyres, so he's come out behind a few of the other pit stop drivers. He's going to have fresh tyres on, so he'll be charging after everybody else in the final part of this race. But currently Arlampa and Luca now the ones battling over the lead. Luca's kind of taken over that mantle that Fury had in the first part of the race. He's now closed up onto the back of Arlampa, but still can't make this move. Luca's still having to wait and wait for his opportunity here in this battle for the lead. Erico now just coming out of the pits, so that's now his pit stop done. You know, unless they're coming at the end of this lap, because this is obviously, well, we've just gone past the halfway point, so now I think will be the telling clue as to whether or not people have full or half tanked it. But here we come then. Arlampa once again through that final corner, getting very wide but managing to make that line work nicely for him, and the gap's gone up a little bit over the course of that final sector there. Now 7/10 of a second between them, but still Luca gaining 3/10 of a second. Totally Zero says, yeah, next week I'll be joining. That'll be good to see you back on track, Totally Zero. As I said before, last season's runner-up in the championship and multiple podium finisher, but correct me if I'm wrong here, Totally Zero, I don't think he's won a race yet, so obviously we're looking forward to that day when it eventually comes. I'm sure it will come eventually. Snoopy into the pits here at the end of lap 17. But obviously with Jazzman and Tynus now reserves, they're going to be racing every other week this season rather than every week. It will open the opportunities up for other drivers to get wins, as Arlampa and Luca are discovering. Obviously Fury was in the battle in the first part of the race as well. Fury's currently got the fastest lap of the race as well. You can see that purple splotch next to his name, which indicates that he has done the fastest lap of anybody so far. But Arlampa and Luca still battling here over the lead of the race. 3/10 of a second between these two as they come down towards the old circuit, towards Ascari again. Snoopy currently in the box at the moment. So it's Luca currently still leading. Oh, sorry, Arlampa's still leading Luca by half a second here as they come into the Parabolica, and you can see Arlampa's just managed to pull a little bit of a gap there coming through the final sector. I think it's a little bit more than half a second again between these two as Luca dives into the pits here. So coming in to make that mandatory. I don't know whether he's half tanked it. He's just gone slightly beyond the halfway point, maybe a bit of a decoy there, potentially feeling like he's being held up, and maybe a couple of laps in clean air might give him a better chance to try and take the lead of this race. But Arlampa continues on his way for the time being. Now let's see what Luca does. He's in the pit box, and it looks like he's been stationary now for a bit longer than the standard pit stop, a standard stop and go, so I think he must be changing tyres. That you would think would surely put him around where Fury is, but doesn't appear to be the case. I think Fury might have had a botched pit stop here, potentially, because he came out way behind Tunde, Awesome Gumball, Archie, the likes of which have already been into the pits before he came in. But Luca's now off and away. Tunde's coming to the Parabolica. Tunde's currently the highest runner of those who've pitted. Luca's just coming towards the end of the pit lane now, and Tunde's coming towards the start-finish line. So Luca and Tunde, it's going to be quite close here between them actually. But you know what? Tunde might actually come out ahead of Luca here. Tyres. I believe Luca changed tyres. Where is Fury? Fury's coming down the start-finish straight. He's a long way behind Luca. Luca's coming through turn 1, about 10 seconds behind Luca. And obviously Fury was battling for the lead in the early stages. I don't know whether he had to put fuel in or what was the case, but Luca's come out in P7 behind Tunde. But Tunde, I think, is on worn tyres, so Tunde's not going to have the pace, and Luca should be able to close up and pass him relatively easily. So Luca is about 10 seconds ahead of Fury, who's still got to negotiate Archie. Fury could still get on the podium here tonight, but it's going to be a tall task for him. Ludo having the incident earlier would have helped him, because he's now kind of out of the picture for a podium. But I think it's going to be between Arlampa and Luca for the race win here tonight. Which one of them it's going to be, we're not quite sure at the moment. Arlampa's led since the start, obviously pole position in qualifying, came under pressure from Fury in the early stages. But, oh, it's Lampa! The race leader has binned it into the wall coming out of the narrow chicane. Continues on his way, but he's lost time there, and he might have a bit of damage on the left-hand side of the car as well. That could have given Luca his chance to take the lead here. Lampa, is he going to come in the end of this lap to try and cover him off? That is a huge moment here in this race. Lampa, totally unexpected here. Has been under pressure for the entirety of this race and hasn't made any mistakes, and running all by himself with no one around him, has gone and completely stacked it there, going through the De La Rocha chicane. Just tagged the wall a little bit, bounced off of the wall, didn't really get stuck in it at all, didn't get much. And that McLaren's surely going to be suffering a little bit from that one. Lampa with a very unexpected moment there. How's that going to affect the result of Luca before his damage kicks in? Of course, he's in problems here. Here he comes around the final corner. What's he going to do? Lampa looks like he's staying out for the time being to try and negate that time loss that he would have obviously got for putting it in the wall there and getting onto the gravel. That would have slowed him down massively. It's around 9 seconds, so I don't know if Fury's closing the gap a little bit to him. Is Fury still sensing something out of the bag here, especially if Luca gets stuck in traffic or ends up battering Lampa? Who knows what could happen here, but Lampa still leading the... I mean, we don't know what he could have done to his car at this point. It's anyone's guess at this stage. Here we go then, Lampa starting lap 22 of this race. Still in the lead at the moment, but for how much longer is that going to be the case here? Obviously with the incident that we saw a couple of laps ago, that could have given Luca the net race lead. We've got Fury all over the back of Leximate here. Leximate's still yet to pit. In fact, Fury's made the move on him already here, up into 8th place. That was the previous timing board. Fury now up into 8th, into clean air, so he's currently about 5 seconds behind Austin Gumbel, running in P7 in this one. Luca's got Tunde 3 seconds up the road. Tunde on worn tyres. We think Luca shouldn't have to. Archie on the back of Leximate here as they come through the Parabolica, but still too far from him as well. Cosmic White's got Chris on the back of him, 0.3 of a second, as we can see. Chris making it a bit wide there coming out of the Parabolica. Hypertech's retired to the pits, so I'm not sure when that happened. Gary's been in the pits now for ages. Not sure if G Portal's having some problems tonight, but it appears like the server's all over the place. Ping's suddenly gone through the... See Archie looking down the inside of Lexi Mate into turn 1. Is he going to be able to make this move? Lexi Mate trying to hold it around the outside, at the inside of the next corner, but Archie sweeps around the outside there. Just about gets it done there. Bit of a squeeze between them. Archie now up into P9. Lexi Mate obviously has still yet to pit in this race. The only driver apart from the top 4 still yet to pit. And Archie there making his way through nicely there. Was the first driver to come into the pits in this race, Archie, as he often is. Often comes in at the end of the first lap. And is able to continue on his way for the time being. Lamp still leading the race, but once he comes in, we're expecting him to come out quite close to Tunde and Luca. Luca still can't make this move on Tunde for P5. Obviously he's on the fresher tyres. Tunde's been on these tyres since the start of the race. He hasn't changed tyres, so he's running on the same compound that he started on. But Luca trying to get something done here if he possibly can, and he'll try and minimise the time that he can spend here behind Tunde, because he's looking at the bigger picture here. He's looking at that fight for the win with Arlampa. But Arlampa, we know he's not going to be changing tyres, so his pit stop will be considerably shorter than these. He probably will come out quite clear of these two actually, but towards the end of the race Luca will have that pace and we'll be reining him in. So it's going to be fascinating to see how this develops. We're just going to have to wait and see how it all unfolds here. Luca's still just a little bit too far back on Tunde as they come down towards turn 1. He's having a little look to the inside, but nothing doing for now. Cosmic Crusader still just ahead of Snoopy as they're going through the Parabolica at the moment. Doesn't look like Snoopy's particularly close here on the back of him. I don't think he's going to have a chance coming into turn 1 at the moment. Zero says Tunde's improved a lot from last time. Yeah, he definitely has. I think he must like the track a bit. I think it's his home race, Tunde. I think he's got the Italian flag on Discord, I believe. It's his home race, but yeah, he seems to have really put in the work here. Must have done a bit of practice in the server and the build up to this one. And he's putting on a really good account of himself currently in P5. He's actually all over the back of Remster here, as we can see Tunde and Luca now very close on Remster. Remster's still yet to pit in this race. These guys are now going to look to try and make their way through here if they can, as they come down towards the Parabolica. So here we go then, Tunde trying to make this move around the outside of Remster into the Parabolica. Is he going to make this one stick? Bit of contact there between them. Remster's not making it easy despite the fact that he's not in a stable strategy. Oh, and Tunde loses it going to Parabolica there due to the contact there, probably with Remster, and he loses out there. He's lost out to Luca, and Awesome Gumball comes through as well. Oh, what's going on here? This is chaotic. This is chaotic. Fury there gets caught up in it as well. Fury's now got huge damage on the front of the car, and he's bailed off into the barriers there. I think Fury's gone, you know what, I'm done. That's really unfortunate. Tunde coming into the pits, he's got damage there on the front of the car as well. That is a bit ridiculous there. Total handbags. And unfortunately, there's 3 drivers now suddenly out of the equation. So, yeah. Hopefully that's an inquiry, and hopefully we can get that one sorted out. That's a bit ridiculous there. Luca's still just ahead of Remster, about for 4th place, as he's still holding on ahead of him for the time being. You got Arlampa into the pits. The race leader's coming in now, so this is going to be crucial here. What's going to happen in relation to Arlampa and Luca? These two were 1 and 2 before. Obviously, Luca came in a few laps ago. This is going to be crucial to decide the direction of the race winner. Arlampa, we think, is going to be stopping and going because he's coming in far too late to be putting some fuel in or tyres. Fury not happy in the comments there with the handbags that was going on in front of him. He was just an innocent bystander, came along at the tail end of what was going on and didn't really know what he was walking into. But Arlampa in the meantime offered away. Where's Luca? Luca's nowhere to be seen, which we expected because we obviously know that Arlampa's on worn tyres, Luca's on fresh tyres, but that gap's a little bit more than what I thought it would be, I must say, even when you factor that in. So Arlampa now going on, he's now coming through out on the exit of the first chicane through into Curva Grande. Luca's just coming over the start-finish line. Let's keep an eye on that gap, because that's going to be massive here. So Arlampa's 8 seconds behind Codalungu. Let's see what Luca's gap is to Arlampa, because that's going to be what we've got to work with here in the final part of this race. Luca on the fresh tyres, I don't think he's going to be able to catch him. I think Arlampa's home and hosed. He's home and dry here. First getting robbed at the P1, and then that's ridiculous, says Fury. If you got the footage, mate, then pop in a ticket on the Discord, and we'll take a look at it. But the gap between Arlampa and Luca currently 24 seconds at the moment in this race, so I think Arlampa pretty much, unless he makes a simply catastrophic mistake in the final part of this race, should have this one in the bag. Could have had a real challenge from Fury earlier on, but Fury unfortunately got caught up in a few little moments and bits and bobs here and there. Of the Simplay guys, Matimovic is currently flying the flag in 8th place, doing a very, very solid job indeed. He might be able to get ahead of Remster once Remster comes in. Not sure about Codalungu. Ludo into the pits now, Codalungu also in, as we see a battered up Simplay car there. Oh no, don't tell me that's Matt. No, it's not Matt, it's Fury again. So Fury, it seems like he's got himself into a bit of a rot now, Fury has, and things seem to be just getting worse for him. I think he needs to get that damage fixed. He needs to come out with some fresh tyres on, and consolidate that fastest lap that he's already got, because that'll give him some consolation from this race, because it's kind of got away from him in this one. It's a bit of a shame. Well, it's a massive shame really, because he was in contention for this race win. He had a massive chance at taking it, but fate has dictated another way, unfortunately for him here tonight. Arlampa's still leading the race, looking like he's going to be bringing it home for the win. Ludo's come out. Actually, you know what? Ludo and Cod, where have they come out? They've come out. Ludo's come out ahead of Luca, but Cod's behind them. So Ludo running in 2nd place now, having jumped Luca in the pits. But Luca, I think, will have fresher tyres. He definitely has fresher tyres, because Ludo has not changed his tyres. So Luca should be able to make this move on him for 2nd place. He would have thought quite easily. Remster there, 4th ahead of Awesome Gumball, but Remster's still yet to pit here in this race. Codalungu P6. He's still ahead of Archie. Matimovic only 2 seconds behind Archie. Can Matt give Archie a bit of a fight? He was only 7 seconds off of 6th place Codalungu, but that might be a bit beyond him, considering we probably only got about 6 or 7 laps left to go. So Matt surely going to be targeting a P7 here in this one. That would not be a bad start to his season at all. What an unsafe rejoin. That's awful, man. I agree with you, Fury. I agree with you. It was a bit ridiculous. Yeah, Lucas currently trying to put this pressure here on Ludo for 2nd place on his fresh tyres. It shouldn't be too much of a difficulty for him to nab that P2. Sorry, I was just talking on mute for the last minute there, sorry to apologise. I was just commenting on the fact that Cosmic Crusader has dropped a couple of places behind Ericode and Matev, down to P12. So it must have been a mistake there somewhere. Awesome Gumball trying to put the pressure on Remster. Obviously Remster's still yet to pit, so Awesome Gumball doesn't really need to be in too much of a rush to get this one done. I don't think he's got much to chase beyond Remster, because Remster's 6 seconds behind Luca. So Awesome Gumball, I think we'll just be wanting to stay out of trouble here and just get that P4 in the bag. Ludo's still keeping Luca behind him despite Luca being on those fresher tyres. He's doing a solid job right now, is Ludo, keeping him at bay. I've noticed a bit of lag on the stream, so I'm just going to lower the bitrate a little bit, because I think that might be the reason. It might just be taking a bit too much of a toll on the internet. I set it quite high for tonight because I noticed it was a bit pixelated on Friday for the F1, so I set the bitrate so it was pretty damn high, and I think that might be something to do with it. There you go, I've just dropped the bit rate a little bit, so we should be in a better position now. As we just noticed there, it looks as though Luca almost made the move there. Back onto my monitor there. Luca has made the move on Ludo there into the Del Rocha chicane, so Luca there up into second place on those fresh tyres. Could have seen that one coming. Yeah, that one was sort of like in the possibility there. Cosmic Crusader's got a stop-go penalty for speeding in the pits. Cordalungu back into pits, not sure why he's coming. Oh, the stream's running smoothly now. It's stopped lagging. It was the bitrate, because the bitrate was too high. Oh, I'll know that for next time. Sorry about that, everybody. To those of you who are... Oh dear. Ramster into the pits here to make his mandatory pit stop at the end of lap 30. So here we are then guys, lap and a half left to go in the opening round of the season here at Motive for the GT3 Championship. Here on Assetto Corsa Competizione on the PlayStation 5. We've got Codlung who's picked up a drive-through penalty. I assume when he came into the pits, I'm not 100% sure on that. Cosmic Crusaders into the pits at the moment for a stop-going penalty, which he got done for speeding in the pit lane. But yeah, closing stages here at Monza for this opening race of the season. We had a battle for the lead in the first part of the race, which was a really exciting fight, which was between Lamper and Fury. But then Fury getting a bit unlucky in the pit stops and then getting caught up in an incident that was no doing of his own, and had nowhere to go, was just sort of in the wrong place at the wrong time. And unfortunately for him, appears to be well, out of the race in the end, didn't finish. But his fellow Simplay driver here, flying the flag for those guys tonight, Matimovic, doing a fantastic job running in P6, looking like it's going to be a good start to his season here tonight. He's on the back of Archie here, knocking on the door of a P5, but time might just be about to run out for him. Obviously with Codlungu getting his drive through, it's promoted Matt up another position, also Archie as well, and everyone behind them in fact as well. But can Matimovic stage a late rally here on the back of Archie? I reckon a second and a half in a lap might be a little bit of a tall order here for him, as we start the 33rd and final lap here. Lamper here coming down towards the old circuit here for the final time in this race. He's weathered a few storms over the course of this one as Lamper, I'll tell you that. He's not had this one all his own way. Fury had him probably in a few brown pants moments in the first stint of the race. He was really giving him a good fight, and then once Fury dropped away after his pit stop, it was Luca who was giving Lamper a bit of a fight, but Luca had half tanked it and was running on a much lighter fuel in the first stint, so that exaggerated his pace a little bit. Lamper ran a full tank all the way and is running on the same tyres now that he started on, and has made it work absolutely brilliantly. Lamper through the parabolica here for the final time in the opening round of the season here for Season 7 here on the PlayStation 5 for the GT3 Championship here at Motive Racing. Up towards the line, Lamper takes the opening round of the season, and flash the lights there from him. A really solid drive, kept it cool under pressure multiple times throughout the race, and it's really well deserved, that one. Lamper, your race winner here tonight at Monza. Luca coming into the parabolica, it's going to be second for him here in this one after changing tyres midway through the race. Had some good pace here at points, but wasn't quite on the consistency of Lamper. Over the line comes Luca to take second place here in the season opener. Ludo completing the podium, a good result there for him. I'm sure he'll take that after not the greatest middle stint, or not the greatest middle parts of the race. He made a mistake, dropped back a lot, but in the end gets away with the podium. Awesome Gumball over to take fourth place on his return here to Motive. Great drive there from him. Archie coming up towards the line, last season's third in the championship, starts this one off with a P5 here at Monza tonight. Matimovic, what a great drive from him, P6. Great to see him back out on track as a regular driver here this season. Snoopy over in 7th place in the end, ahead of Ericode, who's going to come over to take 8th place. Matev will finish this one in 9th place. Not too far behind Ericode in the end. A bit of a gap back to Daz Automatic, who's going to finish this one quite a lonely 10th place in the end. Had quite a quiet race, to be honest with you, but I'm sure he'll take quiet over chaotic. And here he comes then. It's going to be Daz Automatic on his Motive Racing debut here tonight to finish in the top 10. Solid result there from him. Low 3000 coming through the parabolica, it's going to be 11th place. Bremster, Dimented, Leximate and Cosmic Michael will finish the race a lap down. Tunde, Codlungu and Hypertech have all taken the checkered flag. Cosmic Crusader is going to finish the race in the pits, I think. Low 3000 over in 11th place. Scooter Paul has run out of fuel. No, Scooter Paul. Crystal with the last driver over the line. Scooter Paul has run out of fuel on the final lap of the race. That is going to be gut-wrenching for him as he's pulling off to the side. He's going to be absolutely fuming with that one. What a shame to see. And it's Lamper who takes the opening round of the season in dominant fashion in the end. 25 seconds his gap. I have a feeling that it wouldn't have been quite that much if Fury had a chance to give him a run for his money. Bit of unfortunate luck tonight for Fury getting in the way rather challenge for a race victory. But Arlampi, your race winner, Luca second and Ludo third. Thanks everybody for joining us for the opening round of the season. And if you did enjoy the drivers watching us back afterwards, please do smash that like button and share it with your fans, family members, and otherwise associates. And we will see you all for the next one. Take it easy, everybody, and yeah, good night.